Have you ever had someone's betrayal pay your rent? I asked, my voice low against the hum of the sewing machines. My best friend Marisol looked up from her sketchbook, pen paused in midair. Emma, she said, I still don't believe you trademarked his name. I smiled, adjusting the screen-printed tee that draped over the mannequin in front of me. Oh, I did more than that. It started with a text. I was halfway through my third espresso of the morning at a cafe next door to my tiny studio when my phone buzzed. The screen lit up with his name, Alexander Milford, and beneath it a message I'd seen too many times before, but never quite like this. You're paranoid. Stop texting me. I'm with Janelle. Happy Thanksgiving. I stared at the glass table, heart pounding, and realized two things. One, I couldn't keep reading these lies, and two, these exact words could be my ticket out. I snapped a photo of the text, fingers trembling, then ordered another espresso, this time black. Marisol, who'd just sat down with a croissant, raised an eyebrow. Is that it? She asked. I slid the phone across to her. That is Thanksgiving, Emma. She blinked. You're going to trademark his text? Trademark, copyright, whatever it takes, I said, picking up my croissant. I'm turning this shit show into something they can't ignore. The Ida Spark. Marisol and I spent the afternoon in my studio, walls lined with fabric swatches, mannequins wearing half-finished dresses, sketches strewn across every surface. I paced the length of the room. Imagine a line of streetwear, I said. Graphic tees, hoodies, even tote bags with bold prints, I'm with Janelle, Happy Thanksgiving, or better yet, a distressed font, or blacked out letters so you have to lean in. She laughed, then drew breath. It's brilliant, angry but brilliant. She sketched a t-shirt with the text in block letters across the chest. We could do seasonal drops. Merry Christmas, I'm with Janelle for December. I slapped my thigh. Exactly. Let's call it the Milford Collection. We'll trademark his name. I sank onto my drafting table, adrenaline surging. I'll handle the legal side, trademark application, copyright the design. You get to work on the mock-ups. She grinned, already flipping through her notebook. Deal. Let's make his name famous, for all the wrong reasons. Trademark turbulence. That weekend, I sat at my kitchen table buried in paperwork. The US Patent and Trademark Office website glowed on my laptop. I created an account as Emma Portman, textile designer. I typed in Milford as the trademarked term under apparel, namely t-shirts, hoodies, hats, tote bags. The fees, $250 per class, wasn't pocket change, but I'd refinanced a small business loan for my studio. I clicked Submit and held my breath. Within 2 days, I received an email, Notice of Allowance. The USPTO had conditionally approved my application. I stared at the screen, disbelief and elation mingling. With his name trademarked, anyone wanting to use Milford on shirts would have to license it from me. I could charge royalties. Instant passive income from his own betrayal. Now that I had the legal green light, I moved fast. We ordered 100 blanks, 50 black tees, 50 white hoodies from a local supplier. Marisol, armed with her sketches, and I spent 2 nights experimenting with screen printing techniques, distressed ink for that lived-in look, metallic accents for the holiday drop, reverse prints for a subtle twist. Our makeshift production line filled the studio with the smell of ink and vinegar. Soft launch and social media surge. By mid-December, we were ready for our soft launch. I scheduled a pop-up at a trendy holiday market downtown, artisanal threads and local beats. We rented a 10x10 booth, set up a black curtain backdrop, and hung oversized prints spelling out our first design. I'm with Janelle, Happy Thanksgiving. We tagged the booth, Milford Collection. On opening day, the line started early. Bloggers with DSLR cameras, influencer squads in matching bomber jackets. They loved the story. The betrayed designer turned his cheating text into a fashion statement. By noon, we'd sold half our stock. People posed for photos, mugged for Instagram, their captions dripping sarcasm and solidarity. When he says he's with someone else, rock that tee like you own the runway. I am Milford. After the market closed, I tallied our sales. 75 items gone, $4,500 in revenue. We'd covered our costs and banked a small profit. Better yet, our social media mentions exploded. At Local Fashion, Daily reposted our booth pic with the caption, "Bitter never looked so good." Our follower count jumped from 200 to 2,000 overnight. Flush with our early success, we returned to the studio to plan part 2, the holiday remix drop, "Merry Christmas, I'm with Janelle," in candy cane stripes across red sweatshirts. But as the holidays loomed, we recognized a risk. People might tire of the joke if we repeated too soon. We needed fresh hooks. One night, over takeout and whiteboard brainstorming, Maria sketched a gold foil version. "Engagement season, I'm already taken," by Janelle. We added tiny wedding ring icons in the margin. I snapped a pic and posted it in our Slack. "This is fire, limited run for Valentine's Day." Our messaging morphed into, "Proposed already, I'm off the market, with Janelle. Save the date, not for you." Bridal shower squad, except me. We even toyed with accessories. Enamel pins shaped like broken hearts, mugs with snarky captions, phone cases with Alex's exact texts in chat bubbles. By January, the Milford collection spanned 15 SKUs, Fashion Week fiasco. Then came the moment that validated our pivot from pop-up to brand, a local fashion week featuring emerging designers. The events director emailed, "We want you to showcase the Milford collection in our off-schedule pop-up showroom." Our jaws dropped. At a runway event known for sleek minimalism, we'd be the only brand centered on raw, personal storytelling, a perfect counterpoint to the couture. We spent 3 sleepless nights designing the showroom, a monochrome palette with chalkboard walls where guests could scrawl their own breakup texts, mannequins posed in defiant stances clutching our tees, and a video loop of Alex's Instagram story playing silently on a loop. We printed catalogues with helpline numbers for people seeking support, an unexpected but vital addition born from a desire to help others who'd been cheated on. Opening night, the showroom buzzed. Editors from Vogue offshoots, bloggers with neon hair, shoes clicking on polished concrete. They snapped pictures of our chalkboard wall. "How did you find out?" scrawled in white chalk. Below it, "I saw them at the villa pool." Then, "How do you move on?" with answers offered by passing guests. Self-worth, sparkly hoodies, new friends. The interactive element made it go viral on TikTok. #Milford Showroom Challenge. By the end of the week, fashion influencers were queuing to get an XL "I'm with Janelle" sweatshirt. We'd sold nearly 300 units in 7 days, quadrupling our Q4 pop-up numbers. Luxury retailers approached us. "We want the Milford collection in our concept shops." With CFO-level spreadsheets dancing in my head, I realized I'd flipped my personal pain into an unstoppable retail phenomenon. Legal and public reactions, of course. Alex didn't stay silent. Mid-January, I received a cease and desist via certified mail from his attorney. "Our client demands immediate cessation of all use of the Milford name, which constitutes defamation and unauthorized personal likeness use. Remove all products referencing Mr. Milford." I laughed and forwarded it to my trademark attorney. He replied within an hour, "We are fully within our rights. We've trademarked Milford in the apparel class. Your use is protected, and his name is now your intellectual property. Counter with an offer. Exclusive holiday edition license for $100K. I smirked. "Make it $150K, I wrote back. Publicly, the drama only boosted our brand's notoriety. Women's magazines ran headlines. How a fashion designer turned cheating texts into gold. The snarky t-shirt CEO who trademarked her ex's name. Podcasts invited me on to talk about turning heartbreak into business strategy. Even fintech apps featured us in a creative ways to monetize your data listicle. By February, the Milford Collection stylist agreement with 3 national boutiques. Online, we partnered with lightning-fast fulfillment providers for same-day shipping. We introduced a build-your-own Milford tee tool. Pick a line from his texts, choose a font, a color, and watch your shirt arrive in 24 hours. Sales boomed. Q1 revenues hit 120,000, a bestseller in the fashion startup world. Marisol and I hired our first intern, a film student who began shooting our brand story documentary. When heartbreak becomes haute couture, taglines popped up on our site. Own your story, wear your truth. We added a Milford checkpoint. A portion of profits donated to domestic abuse hotlines, a pledge I never considered when I snapped that first photo of cheating texts. It felt right to give back. Part 1 finale, From Text to Trend. Tonight, as I stand before the mannequins draped in the original I'm with Janelle Happy Thanksgiving tees, I marvel at the journey. A piece of betrayal once stung like a branding iron. Now it's a global trend. For every Milford t-shirt I sell, I gift one to a woman reclaiming her identity, thanks to our new Dress for Your Best Self program. In the studio's back office, Marisol and I high-five over the launch of the Spring 2.0 Milford Remix, a delicate pastel line with floral overlays of our signature text, proving that even heartbreak can blossom. I take a deep breath, heart racing with the next hook. Summer edition, I'm on island time, but he's stuck in my traces. The morning after Alex's attorney delivered that cease and desist letter, I arrived at the studio to find a stack of legal briefs on my drafting table. I poured coffee into my favourite chipped mug, the one Marisol had painted with #I am Milford, and sat down to read the threat for what felt like the 100th time. Your unauthorized use of the name Milford is defamatory and infringes Mr. Milford's personal likeness rights. Remove all products immediately or face action for damages. I leaned back, heart pounding. This was exactly the drama we'd counted on, but the stakes had just gone nuclear. I snapped a photo and sent it to my trademark attorney, Jenna, with the note, "They're serious." Jenna called within minutes. "He's grasping at straws. We've got the trademark, the copyright on the design, and even articles in the press. Let them file. We'll countersue for unfair competition." Relief washed over me. Let's do it. Building the shield. Over the next 3 days, I transformed our little studio into a war room. I taped press clippings, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, the New York Times, around a whiteboard where Alex's legal claims were crossed out in red. Marisol and I drafted a Milford manifesto. 1. Trademark granted, intellectual property undeniable. 2. Designs fall under fair use and creative expression. 3. Profits fund empowerment, not revenge. 4. We will outdesign, outmarket, outlast. We shared it with our small team of interns and seamstresses, rallying them with bagels and cold brew. Even our leatherworker, Rosa, a fiercely independent single mother, lit up when she read Point 4. "We're not just making teas," she said, "we're making history." Supply chain hacks and capacity ramps. Next came the logistics challenge. Sales were skyrocketing. An unplanned viral moment on TikTok where a micro-influencer filmed herself trying on every Milford design in one sitting had driven orders to 4 times our pop-up capacity. Our local screen printer warned us they couldn't handle more than 500 units per week. I knew we needed scale, fast. I spent 2 afternoons on procurement calls, vetting overseas factories with ethical labor certifications. We negotiated minimum runs of 2,000 units per design, striking deals that balanced cost with quality. While Jenna handled the looming legal showdown, I flew to the factory in Shenzhen, boarding a red-eye to inspect mock-ups, measure fabric swatches under fluorescent lights, and shake hands with a production manager who promised a 2-week turnaround. "We'll print your first batch by Friday," he said. I nodded, blinking from jet lag. "We'll take it." The charity pivot. Even as our order books filled, I refused to forget the healing mission we'd built beneath the snarky slogans. I reached out to Safe Haven, a nonprofit supporting domestic violence survivors. Their director, Anita Flores, replied within hours, "We need this. Our clients struggle to afford even basic clothing, let alone cheeky letters. Let's partner." We launched Threads of Strength, pledging that for every Milford garment sold, we'd donate one to Safe Haven. We printed special tags, "Gifted, You're Powerful, the Milford Collection," sewn into each donated tee. Cam and I spent weekends packaging boxes of soft black shirts bound for shelters across the country. At one distribution event, a group of young women cried as they tried on their new hoodies, tracing the bold block letters with trembling fingertips. That moment reminded me, our line was about more than witty revenge. It was about validating every voice that felt silenced. Counterpunch, Alex's lawsuit. 2 weeks after the pop-up factory, Jenna called with news. Alex had filed in federal court, seeking $500,000 in damages for defamation, claiming RT's maligned his personal brand. His argument leaned on celebrity Percy claims. He insisted Milford was his personal trademark, and that our usage implied his endorsement of adultery and public humiliation. The docket number sat on my phone like a challenge. I drafted our response overnight. With Jenna's guidance, we moved to dismiss on grounds of trademark infringement and fair use of a public figure's name in a transformative context. We also filed a counterclaim for tortious interference. His legal gambit was harming our business, costing us production delays and PR headaches. When I e-filed at midnight, I exhaled a sigh that rattled my ribs. Let the legal storm begin. While the lawsuit churned in court, I seized the media narrative. I guest-authored an op-ed for Forbes Fashion, What a Stamford Divorce Teaches Us About Intellectual Property and Self-Empowerment. It traced my journey from heartbreak to business ownership, examined the evolution of trademark law, and teased the upcoming Milford Remix collection with a wink. This time, the only thing destroyed is your old self. Tech influencer Casey Normand invited me onto her podcast, Startup Style, where we dove into the mechanics of pivoting personal pain into profit. My behind-the-scenes anecdotes, sneaking into a board meeting for Eurolux last year to ground a cheating ex, meshed perfectly with the tech and fashion crowd. By the time I left her studio, our pre-sold units had jumped another 200 pieces, and pre-orders were open to July. The narrative was in our control. I was the savvy founder who outsmarted both ex's lawyer and the haters. Breaking into Paris. Then there came the unexpected email, the one that sent chills through my system. "Miss Portman, we'd like to present the Milford collection at Paris Fashion Week, ready-to-wear division. Preliminary offer enclosed." My jaw dropped. Paris Fashion Week was the pinnacle, the runway for global couture giants. We were streetwear. We were memes. Yet here they were, inviting us to strut under the Arc de Triomphe lights. I flew to Paris on a standby charter, heart thrumming louder than the jet engines. The audition was at the Palais de la Mode, a stony complex ringed by fountains. My models emerged in sleek black hoodies and crisp white tees, each emblazoned with our catchphrases, layered over haute trousers and combat boots. The crowd, editors from British Vogue, Japanese Elle, Italian L'Officiel, watched with curiosity. When the final walk closed on I'm with Janelle tees glowing under spotlights, the room exploded with applause. We'd shattered the boundary between meme and museum. Afterward, Chinese buyers offered million-dollar MOQs, and French boutiques clamored for our embryonic runway exclusives. Legal victory and strategic settlement. Back home, the court date loomed. I sat with Jenna in the wood-paneled district courthouse in Manhattan. Alex's counsel objected fiercely, but our arguments shone. The trademark was valid. Our products constituted expressive speech. Judge Reynolds, a stern woman known for her keen wit, listened. At the close, Jenna delivered our counterclaim effectively, demonstrating the damage Alex's lawsuit had wrought on our manufacturing timelines and retail partnerships. 2 hours later, the judge handed down her ruling. Plaintiff's complaint is dismissed with prejudice. Defendant's counterclaims for tortious interference are permitted to proceed. Dismissed with prejudice. That meant Alex couldn't refile. I exhaled, tears pricking my eyes. Jenna grinned. We're not only free, we win. Our legal fees covered under his obligation to pay costs. I left the courtroom floating, pockets heavier, vindicated but unburdened by years of anger. Paris Encore and documentary premiere. Returning to Paris Fashion Week a month later for the official runway show, I watched models stride to a remix of Bad Blood and I Will Survive, each garment evolving, lace overlays, gold threads, even a biodegradable Milford Reimagined series printed on earthy hemp. Interviews with CNN, Bloomberg, and The Guardian painted me as a visionary, transforming the tables of betrayal into banquet tables of empowerment. The auditorium gasped at the sight, high fashion with snarky slogans, yet imbued with heart. At the documentary premiere, Breaking the Trademarked Heart, I sat under the vaulted cinema unceiling, greeted by sympathetic nods from survivors on the red carpet. The film traced my arc. The cheating text, the trademark application, the lawsuits, the Paris shows, the charity partnerships. At the end, I appeared, tearful on screen, voicing the line that had fueled it all. His name's my name now, my trademarked ticket to freedom. The audience rose, clapping until my palms stung. Today, the Milford collection thrives across continents, from Seoul's underground pop-up durag drops to Buenos Aires street fairs bursting with stenciled tees. We've launched the Milford Academy, a scholarship fund for design students who've suffered emotional abuse, ensuring their voices and designs flourish. A scented candle line, Burn the Letters, whips up Parmesan and Chardonnay notes, a tongue-in-cheek nod to bitter endings. I still love espresso at dawn, and I still treasure that first broken text screenshot. Now a framed keepsake in my boardroom. Marisol and I toast to every hook we've dropped. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Off the Market. Each drop a metaphorical exhale, a piece of liberation woven in cotton and ink. His name is my trademarked empire, and through it I've grounded every whisper of betrayal, transforming silent heartbreak into a roar of success. Part 2 ends here, with the world wearing your story, your truth, proof that sometimes the most powerful statement isn't "I forgive you," but "I designed a fashion line around your betrayal, and it sold out in Paris." Because when life sends you cheating texts, go ahead, trademark them, print them, and watch the world clamor to wear your victory.